What's up, guys? This is El Aficionado. I'm back again. This is the Amateur Hour Weekly Show coming to you for the first time in a whole week. It's been a long week off. I didn't enjoy it. I hope you missed me. I missed you. I'm going to give a quick State of the Union for all 20 of the Premier League teams and my thoughts on each. So I hope you enjoy.
Take England behind Giroud. Competition in the world. No team has won it more than Arsenal.
So what's up, guys? It's been a long week, whole entire week off. I didn't enjoy it. I've decided that I'm going to do a State of the Union for each of the 20 Premier League teams today, mainly so I don't ramble on about all the other exciting things going on in the soccer world. There's a million things happening out there. I don't really need to talk about all of them because I'll make a video so long nobody will want to watch it. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in and watching. Thank you very much for your support. Keep subscribing, keep liking. I'm pushing for 100. At 100, I will be doing a jersey giveaway. Very excited about that. Please get tuned in on social media, Instagram and Twitter, at El Aficionado. So enough of me being warm and fuzzy. Into these ratings. I'm going to start at the top because usually, you start on the side that has less suspense and go to the side that has more suspense. Well, the top has no suspense at all this year. It's exactly how we thought it would be. Number 1, undisputed, Manchester City. Only one dropped result in their last 7. That was a draw against Liverpool. A really boring 0-0 draw, actually. But still, Manchester City has looked like an absolute death machine. They are 8-2-0. They're sitting on 26 points. A plus 24 goal differential, the best in the league, obviously. Next up against Southampton. No Kevin De Bruyne. No problem so far. The Silvas making a terrible 2-0 in the middle of the field. Only Lyon has even managed to slow Manchester City. They actually beat Manchester City in the Champions League. But City recovered nicely. They're still looking like they're going to get out of their group. So really no European disaster there. Overall, A+, Manchester City. Only grade you could give them. In second, also not surprising at all, you have Liverpool. Also 8-2-0. Also on 26 points. Also with an A+. They have a plus 16 goal differential. A couple of dropped games in their last couple. Well, of course, one was against Manchester City. So can you really consider that a dropped game? They're really holding pace to at least come in top 2 in the Premier League table. Although Chelsea might give them a scare. But if Roberto Firmino can recover his form from last year, Liverpool's going to be scary. In third, Chelsea. Chelsea is 7-3-0. They're on 24 points. A little overly Eden Hazard dependent, but still a flying start under Maurizio Sarri. No one expected them to be this well on the table. Undefeated in Europe also. Impressive start for Chelsea. Like I said, the only thing that I have negative against them is that overdependence on Hazard and a really disappointing draw to West Ham. That's their only thing separating them from Liverpool and Man City right now. But an A- for Chelsea, mainly for that draw versus West Ham. But still an incredible start to the season for a flying high Chelsea Blues team. Now moving away from those top 3 that are really on a league of their own, I think they're going to separate very quickly from the rest of the pack and leave everyone else in the dust. But sitting in fourth, we have my surprise of, actually probably, I can't even call them their surprise of the season so far, but they're pleasantly surprising as an Arsenal fan, are the Gunners. They had a rough start. They lost to City and Chelsea in the first 2 weeks, and they ripped off 11 straight wins. They're unbeaten in 13, looking really solid, scoring a lot of goals. Actually, they're not looking very solid. They're looking very shaky at the back. But they're scoring enough goals where they can make up for conceding a goal a game, which is not something that you can sustain for long periods of time. But the Emery revolution has begun, and it's off to a flying start. 22 points in the league, 7-1-2 record. Only losses were to City and Chelsea. I'm going to have to go with an A- for the Gunners. Overall, a very, very, very pleasantly surprising start. In fifth, the Tottenham Hotspurs. They're kind of part of this next tier, not really the top 3, but not really in danger of dropping out of the top 6. However, Tottenham has been disappointing. They're 7-0-3. They're sitting on 21 points. I'm going to give them a B-. Why am I giving them a B-? Uncharacteristically low scoring for Tottenham. Usually Harry Kane's bagging a bunch of goals. Heung-min Son's bagging a bunch of goals. Lamella's been their player of the season. Lucas Moura really led them through the first month and has since fallen off the map. Eric Lamela has come onto the scene and has been scoring goals. However, a disappointing missed chance against Manchester City saw them walk away with no points last weekend, and a game that really could change their season. That plus the Champions League disaster. They're already out. They're all but out of in the group stage, which is very disappointing for a team like Tottenham, who's really pushing for trophies, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen yet again. So that's my second tier is Arsenal and then Tottenham Hotspur. Moving into sixth place, you have Bournemouth at 6-2-2, sitting on 20 points. They're getting an A+ from me. Why is Bournemouth getting the same grade as Liverpool, Manchester City? Because they're Bournemouth and they're in the top 6 after a quarter of the season. I mean, the whole squad's playing lights out. Really, really impressive. Front to back. David Brooks has been a revelation on the wing. A young player for a team like Bournemouth. He's going to be worth a lot of money. He's going to pay the whole squad's wage bills for 2 years when he goes. But, I mean, they've had some really easy fixtures. I'm not going to lie to you. They haven't really played anyone challenging and have gotten a result against them. They lost to Chelsea. But still, Bournemouth's in the top 6. How could you not give them a good grade for that? Moving into 7th, we have Watford at 6-1-3, 19 points. They really calmed down after a flying start. They came out the gate blazing, unbeaten in their first 5 or 6, I think. They've since fallen into a little bit of a rough patch, but Pereira is still a revelation on the wing. He will be playing somewhere else next season. He is too good to continue playing at Watford. For overall, they're going to get a B from me. Moving into 8th, we have Manchester United at 5-2-3 with 17 points. They get a D. Lucky to not get an F, honestly. 17 goals allowed puts them in the bottom 5 of the league this year. They're in 5th to last place in goals conceded. Terrible statistic if you're a Manchester United fan. Jose Mourinho's fears of Lindelof and Bailey not holding strong were surprisingly proved true. That plus the Mourinho drama itself, you cannot sustain a winning performance if off the field you're having so much drama going on, and that is exactly where Manchester United finds themselves. In January, I think they're going to make a bunch of dumb moves and not improve their situation. And also, they don't look very good in the Champions League either. So Manchester United in 8th, they get a D. Into my next tier of teams, we got Everton. Everton's 4-3-3. They're on 15 points, and they're going to get a B- from me. Everton's really been a season of up and downs. They're a consistently average team. They get a really great result, and they follow it with a really bad result. They have such good players. Sigurdsson, Richarlison, even Tosin can score when they need him. But just something's lacking from this Everton team. Keane has been a revelation in the center of defense, really playing so much better than he did last year. He's actually kept Yerry Mina out of the team, something I never would have thought was possible. But still, I'm going to go with Everton, a B-. I think that's a very fair grade for them. In 10th, we have the Wolves. 4-3-3 at 15 points. I'm going to give them a B- also. They've been very, very, very solid defensively. Only 9 goals conceded. However, they have not matched that with the offensive production they had last year in the championship. Only 9 goals scored. Raul Jimenez has been kind of disappointing up front. He's not scoring at the rate you would like him to. And Neves and Moutinho, whereas last year in the championship, they were able to get forward a lot more, score a lot more goals. This year, they're having to be relied on a whole lot more for the defensive aspect of their game, which they are succeeding at very well. Without that offensive contribution, however, the Wolves are suffering in the goal-scoring department. So, B- is a very fair grade for them. Coming up from the championship and still playing this well this early in the season is a pretty impressive sign. So Wolves, I think, have a very bright future, but a B- right now. In 11th, another surprising team is Brighton at 4-2-4 with 14 points. They're going to get a C+. I mean, they're very well clear of regulation, which is a very big success for a club like Brighton at this point in the season. But they're also not really pushing for a top spot. They're just kind of in the middle. They don't concede a whole bunch of goals, but they're not really good defensively. They don't score a whole bunch of goals, but they don't not score a whole bunch of goals. They're a very average Premier League team. Brighton is okay. That's not a bad thing at all. Glenn Murray with 6 goals, all rocking dad bod and balding head of him with 6 goals. That's pretty impressive for playing for a team like Brighton. But C+, I feel, is very fair for Brighton. In 12th, the last team in this tier, I have Leicester City. They are 4-1-5 at 13 points. I'm going to give them a C. Obviously, they're a club in disarray right now. They just had the death of their owner. I'm not going to try to butcher his name, but thoughts and prayers go to everyone in the Leicester City organization during this time. They weren't really playing well before this loss. I can only imagine that this is going to affect their play on the field going forward. This is a club that needs direction right now. Claude Puel needs to right the ship. He needs to get Jamie Vardy. He needs to get Wes Morgan back on his side. He needs to get these older, more entrenched guys back on his side and get the club moving in the right direction again. On the bright side, Ben Chilwell has been a revelation at left back. Moving into my bottom tier, the Premier League teams, starting all the way at 13. Yeah, there's been that many bad teams. Most of these teams need to hit the panic button. I'm not going to lie to you. Starting with West Ham United at 2-2-6 with 8 points. They're getting a flat D from me. They've looked really poor for most of the season. If Arnautovic is not healthy and playing well, West Ham has no chance of winning a game. They cannot score without Arnautovic. Their defense is not strong at all. And you combine all these problems, and then you think about what happened last year with the fan protests, and you can only imagine it's going to be a matter of time before that continues. Moving into 14th, we have Crystal Palace at 2-2-6 with 8 points. They're also getting a D. Very poor going forward, despite Wilfried Zaha frying defenders left and right on the wing. Double and triple and even quadruple teams will eventually stop even the best skilled players. And that's how Zaha is finding himself. They have been awful in the back. And really it's going to take another incredible Roy Hodgson save to pull this one out for Crystal Palace. Moving into 15th with Burnley, we have a 2-2-6 at 8 points. They're also getting a D. Their European glory turned out to be their European nightmare. They didn't even qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League, and it exhausted their whole squad going into the start of the Premier League season. Well, they successfully had an awful, abysmal start. The defensive stability that was there last year is completely missing, and the Burnley that was there last year is completely missing, quite frankly. In 16th, we have Southampton at 1-4-5, sitting on 7 points. They're going to get a D-. I have nothing good to say about Southampton. They've just been very poor all season. Can't score goals, can't defend, and that's why they're in 16th. In 17th, we have Cardiff City at 1-2-7 on 5 points. They're going to get a D. I'm being a little kinder to them than I am to these other teams down here because, quite frankly, after watching Cardiff play, they're just not good enough front to back to be in the Premier League. But they're struggling hard. They're fighting hard for their fans. They deserve a couple more points than they have, but they're not good enough to play in the Premier League. In 18th, sitting in relegation, we have Fulham at 1-2-7 with 5 points. They are getting a flat F from me. They have the worst defensive record in the Premier League by several goals. The tactics that worked in the Championship are ineffective in the highest order in the Premier League. Attacking with 6 players and leaving 3 back is never going to be a good idea, especially when Caleb Chambers is one of your key cogs in the back. Ryan Sessegnon needs to either be played as a winger or be more defensive at left back. Their right back, I don't know his name, he gets owned every game I watch him play. Despite Mitrovic bagging 5 goals already this season, Fulham has looked dreadful, and it's only a matter of time before their manager is canned. In 19th, even lower than Fulham, we have Newcastle, a winless Newcastle at 0-3-7 with 3 points. They're getting an F. If I could give Newcastle an F-, I would. They have looked that bad. It is only a matter of time before their 2 biggest assets, Lascelles and Rafa Benitez, are out of there. They have not gotten a result in a month. Not even a point in a whole month. A calendar month. That is how bad Newcastle has been. In 20th, we have Huddersfield at 0-3-7 also with 3 points. They're getting an F. Huddersfield is on their way out. They can no longer hold up. An abysmal 4 goals scored. And if they have any hope of escaping before the relegation gap gets too large, they have a game against Fulham this Saturday in what's really an early season relegation tussle. So be sure to tune in for that. See which team comes out on top and which team is left, realizing that their season is probably in shambles. But in closing, this has been the Premier League ratings. I've rated all 20 teams now, giving some thoughts on each one. Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Leave a like. Leave a subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. This is El Aficionado. You guys are awesome. I hope that you think I'm a little awesome. I'll catch you next time.